Gamers, let me ask you a question. Have you ever just wanted to play as a ninja in Destiny? Because today's build, we're going to do just that, or at least as close as humanly possible to that. In today's build, we're going to be showing off getting unlimited melees, which in turn gives you unlimited weaken, giving you unlimited dodges, which turns into unlimited orbs of power, which turns into extremely fast super regeneration in your build, as well as just overall fast regen in all of your abilities. That's not all though. You'll also be going invis non-stop. You will have unlimited devour healing you constantly as your ability regen will keep it up the entire time. And you'll even see a bunch of Michael Bay explosions because all we're going to be using is a sword with chain reaction, because of course we're using a sword for a quote-unquote ninja build. Also, quick note on the background footage, I'm intentionally not cutting up the footage just to kind of show the consistency of the build and that you can actually run in a straight line from enemy to enemy non-stop and just kill everything in sight, rather than it's like, you know, kill a couple enemies here, okay, everything's on cooldown, wait an hour, do it again. No, it's actually just one flowing motion from one enemy to the other, and that's kind of why the footage is just going to be straight front to end and then skipping to the next encounter. Now, as far as the sword goes, I am using the Gold Tusk sword for hunters in the footage here. I do want to note that you could also get away with using Bequest for this build, as Bequest is basically a stronger version of Gold Tusk, can also roll chain reaction and any of the other perks that Gold Tusk can roll, but this is kind of easier for just, you know, fluid motion, just going fast, slicing everything up, so I went with Gold Tusk instead of Bequest, even though Bequest is like my favorite sword. Anyway, moving on, Gold Tusk on it has the perks Chain Reaction, the Michael Bay explosions that I mentioned, and then in the other slot we have Tireless Blade to get sword ammo for every other powered sword final blow. By the way, we're using only M1 attacks here, and basically every blow is a powered blow, so you're going to get your ammo back up very quickly. Also, in the first column, I personally opted to take Jagged Edge for more damage, but you could swap this out for a Hungry Edge perk instead, just to have a little bit more ammo in case you think that you need it. Now, the catalyst to this whole build for getting unlimited this, unlimited that, unlimited everything, is going to be Radiant Dance Machines. Radiant Dance Machines are boots that stay activating your dodge ability near a target, and only that first dodge, by the way, will give you additional dodges to use for a short period of time. Now, this is good on its own. However, if you defeat a target during the extension of this dodge, then you get additional duration on your unlimited dodges. Essentially, if you keep running into enemies non-stop, you can forever keep dodging unlimited amounts of times over and over and over again, and every single time you do, something will be happening. Before we explain what happens every single time that you dodge, let's talk about the subclass real quick to make it a little more clearer. So in your subclass, you're using Tether, of course, and then in the abilities, you'll be using Gambler's Dodge to get your melee back, which will matter. Your jump will be Triple Jump. Your Smoke Grenade will be Snare Bomb to make your enemies weakened every time that you hit them with it. And then Vortex Grenade is the same thing, a weaken proc, and I think Vortex is just the best out of all of them for the grenade in PvE. Then for aspects, you have Vanishing Step and Stylish Executioner. And for fragments, you have Echo of Starvation. When you pick up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power, you get Devour. Extremely helpful. Echo of Undermining. When you throw your grenade, it weakens the target. Echo of Persistence. Void buffs applied to you. Invis, Overshield, or Devour have increased duration. And then Echo of Harvest. Defeating a weakened enemy creates an Orb of Power and a Void Breach. You might see where this is heading. So the general, small, condensed loop of this is you will weaken an enemy, and then once they're weakened, you proc your Radiant Dance Machines by dodging next to them. By dodging next to them, you will proc your invisibility, plus also trigger your basic cycle to start. You will swing at the enemy, you will sword an enemy and kill them, and this will make an Orb of Power. Making an Orb of Power and a Void Breach will proc Devour and give you an armor charge, and at this point, you will just have everything up and ticking for as long as you want. Remember, at this point, you now have unlimited dodges, and you have unlimited weakenings coming in, because every single time that you are dodging, you are getting your Snare Bomb back. So as soon as you throw your Snare Bomb, you do one dodge, you have another one back, should you need to throw it at another enemy that won't get one shot by your combo already. It doesn't stop there, though. We can actually make your build even more potent by adding 2 mods to your build. Number 1 is Reaper in your class item slot. Reaper allows you to create an Orb of Power every single time that you have dodged and then killed an enemy with your weapon, which is literally all you're going to be doing. So, when you're dodging and already initially creating an Orb of Power, Reaper will now allow you to get a second Orb of Power every single time that your sword gets a kill. The second mod in question is the Siphon mods in your helmet. So depending on what kind of weapon you're using, but in this case Arc, you're going to have Arc Siphon on, and then when you get 2 kills with your sword, Arc Siphon will proc and give you another Orb of Power for you to collect as well. And speaking of collecting your orbs, don't worry about it, we're going to be rocking the Powerful Attraction mod in your class item to then scoop up every single orb that you make from every dodge and every kill that you get, and those orbs will immediately go to your armor charges and your super energy to fill both up very quickly. Then we have some regeneration mods to add to your build to make things even faster. In your helmet slot, you have the Dynamo mod to reduce your super cooldown whenever you're using your class ability in your targets, which you'll be doing non-stop. In your gloves, you have Impact Induction and Momentum Transfer to daisy chain between your grenade and your melee to give each other the energy back for each time you use those, as well as you can actually throw in a Firepower mod in there too, in case you want to make another orb from your grenade kills. Your boots can run the Absolution mod to reduce all ability cooldowns each time that you pick up an orb. And then finally, Bomber in your class item can reduce the grenade cooldown when using your class ability, again, non-stop. And then finally, a couple of just general mods to mention. In your chest piece, you're going to want either resist mods for defense or reserve mods for your sword to get extra ammo. And then in your boots, aside from Absolution, you could rock a couple of surge mods to increase the damage of your sword as well on your dance machines. Now, it's worth noting that the build does have one glaring weakness, and it's that it's not really a DPS specialist build. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to go into encounters like dungeon bosses, raid bosses, GM bosses, things of that nature, and put on a ton of damage because, well, first of all, you're going to be up close and personal, which is already not really a positive in that kind of stuff. But also, you're just built to get through ad waves and slice through everything and go into encounters where there's high ad density to keep your loops going, as opposed to just like, I'm going to wail on this one enemy the entire time. So basically, just don't bring it into like dungeons and raids for the boss encounters, but anywhere else in the game where there is high ad density, which is like basically every possible 6-man activity in this franchise's history, or lost sectors, or public events, you get the idea. There, it'll excel and shine and be very fun to use at that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video/build. Let me know what you think. Maybe like, share, and subscribe if you can. It does help the channel and is much appreciated to defeat the almighty algorithm. Whoops, last second edit. I'll also include the build in the description below for the dim link. Enjoy. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you in the next video.